Hey, welcome back to my channel. And Notebook just dropped a super powerful new feature, which is called Discover the Sources, and that's enable us to discover a lot of relevant web content directly into the notebook. And this is going to be helpful to the students and research and fellow engineering peoples as well. But how I look at this notebook LM's Discover sources. When I was a kid, I have the problem to understand the knowledge from one relevant sources and use that knowledge base and try to connect it with the different knowledge information. And that's going to be a challenge for most of the people who actually try to utilize the information. Our notebook LM has a powerful uh, feature which is discover the web content, and it helps to the AI researchers or the students rather than going to the long list of the PDFs where we used to understand and correlate that information into the mind map, and then comes up with your own kind of like understanding. And it's going to gives you a list of the kind of the key things what you needs to be understand, that it's going to gives you the summary. So before we go into how to utilize the notebook LLM into your day-to-day work, and how important it's understand the different web contents, and how a notebook LLM powered with the Google Gemini use those sources and try to come up with the different queries. And for that, all you need to do is like browse the notebook LLM google.com and try to do the discover the sources. But I'm gonna do it for you. Already been logging to the notebook LLM. All you need to do is like use your Gmail authentication and log into the notebook LLM. So I have been done pretty much extensive research on the various AI research papers with the help of the notebook LLM. So it's going to help you to choose a different files. Either you can connect from your Google Docs, Google Sites, website, YouTube. You can copy and paste those contents, and you can has a maximum source of the content more than 50. And here it comes the discover the sources, right? So I went and I see, right? So in a Hugging Face, I understand like which are the latest uh, 1 month. Papers, and I'm using for the research purpose here, but you can utilize to the various ways for analysis your the books, and it's going to gives you pretty much decent information. And I'm not sure about this paper. All I have done it, right, I just copy. There's a two things here. So one is like I'm feeling curious. It's gonna, if you don't need to type anything, or just you wanted to do a web browsing, you can do it like I'm curious. It's gonna select you any random kind of like different web content sources for you, and you utilize those sources and try to do uh, your own analysis. So it's try to connected. It's gathered those Wall Street crash in 1929, and it's gathered that one. In all you need to do, you have to import those sources, the 10 sources, and then analyze it. But what I'm trying to do it right, all I'm trying to here, I'm trying to discover the specific topic. Uh, let's see how it's gonna works because I have the research paper with me. So it's pretty quick, right? So it goes to the web content, and it's selected all the 10 sources about the small VLMs. So all he needs to do is like to add them into the ones, and there is uh, pretty much a kind of like a mind map. So how the mind map is gonna works here. So this source of information, the introduce Hugging Face, small VLM, the vision language models. It's been how large language models is being GPU consumed. Pretty much, it has a high intensive GPU memory is required for the large language model, but the small vision models is going to be do the similar kind of a performance with lesser GPU memory. It's student and teacher way the architecture is going to work it right, and it's going to work on a lesser hardware and lesser cost for you, and it's going to give the similar kind of like maybe not similar, but it's equal kind of like results when you use them on device interfaces, either on your mobiles or it might be on your various devices once. But here, the most important things I always do it like I create a mind map. So how the mind map is going to help it here, even in your studies as well, it's going to gives you a detailed information from taking the source and what are the key points or key information which you need to look at it here. So if I say it's a small VLM, so it says like introduction, so small, efficient, multimodal. So the moment you understand, right? So the vision language model, which is small and efficient, which is resource efficient in terms of like interface, and it can be deployed on mobile and iOS devices, and it's open source. The model checkpoints, VLM data set, training, and Apache 2.0 license, and it's outsmart how this outperform into the GPU RAM as well. So the moment you share this information, it automatically goes back and try to search within the document and comes up with the answers because it has a Gemini capabilities inbuilt to it. So if you look at the Hugging Face introduces a small VLM prominently, it has a features to outperform similar GPU ones. Those small VLMs, how the vision language models, which going to be 2 billion parameters. So it's effectively it's saying it. And if you are a student or a researcher, you need a study guide as well. So it understand and it generate those study guides for you, and you can generate a podcast as well on the similar kind of a topic. So if you take that right, hey, I wanted to listen the conversation, so definitely you can start listening the conversation. It's going to create the a podcast the ones, and you can share to those with a couple of your friends, colleagues, whomever you wanted. You can add your group of people and share your findings to it. And this is how the small VLM family, the compact vision model deployed into the Hugging Face, developed by the Hugging Face, and this model are specifically designed for the source efficient interface. So it's going to gives you a detailed information, what strategies, comparison altogether, and it's not only gives that, it's going to generate the frequent question and answers as well. So all you need is to go and click those tabs, and it's going to gives it. And during this, you have interaction with the documents as well. So the moment if I say what are the sizes of small VLM variants, so it's going to generate you those information, and all you need to go right, oh, where I've got this information, it's been got from here, right? So it has taken the latest GitHub information, and from it's generating it. This is described the smallest VLM ever released with 256 million parameters. So it uses the 93 single L B16 vision encoder compared to 135 large language model. So this is going to gives you the which is the one is the tiniest LLM, right? How you can use this one into your real time as well. So it generates the podcast as well. So if you have a time, you can go ahead and hear the podcast as well. And how this Hugging Face is going to be summarized, it's going to generate the entire summarization for you. So rather than you are sitting and understanding entire topics, all it needs to do is like go and try to use the notebook LM and try to understand how it's going to be summarized. You can take a notes of it, which are the key things that you need to look at. And the main thing is like the Discord feature and the mind map is pretty good. It's going to gives you a very key detailed kind of information, and it's here the small VLM can be on 1 GB GPU, and we can do um, more fine. I'd say like more quantization kind of a things which we can do it because it's a 16 one, but I covered that into my previous video how we can do that. So it's going to gives you a pretty holistic view how this going to works it out, and it has a question and answers as well. So for example, if you wanted to understand like, hey, what are the frequent notes is being generated, it's going to share you those information as well. So and it has a timeline as well. So and you can convert all nodes to your source as well. So when you click here, it's going to generate to your source content into the nodes as well. So it means it's not only interacting with that, you can take the source information and try to once. Let's ask like where I can use this. So even you can add a few more if you wanted. So if you wanted, like, you can add to your YouTube, like it still has a 50. If you do the discovery, it is going to gives you 10. But if you do one more kind of a discovery, it's going to add another 10. Until 50, you're going to get the information. If you wanted to add more into it, you can able to do it, like based on the sources of our conversations with small VLM designed to use the various environments. It's going to be on devices. It means like laptop, mobile phones, smartphones, and edge devices. It's require a less GPU, and its fine-tuned purpose is like free, which you can use into the Google Colab free itself. You can fine-tune with the QLoRa, and it has a image captioning and a visual question answering capabilities. The people who wanted to build a application on edge devices, small VLMs are the best choices for them. And I hope you like this, and I hope you try to use notebook LM in your day-to-day ones. And if you have any queries, or if you wanted to know a bit more, I'm happy to help you out here. So there are a couple of options. It's going to do be it's you can save it into your drive, and you can try to upload a few of your documents. And thank you so much for watching it. Thank you, guys.